Okay, sitting in traffic, and I just decided I would do a video. I actually had a reminder saved to do it later, but I figured I'd do it now. So, this video is about negativity. I've done a video on this before, and it's just regurgitated information because it happened to two of my clients, and then it just reminded me of something else that happened recently with, and I hope, you want to know what? If this person sees this, fine. If these people, actually, there's two people. So I always tell my clients, if you keep pushing every single day, I will never be disappointed in you. If you make changes, when I make the corrections, I never get frustrated. I never get disappointed in mistakes. I get slightly when I'm making these corrections and then you're not making the changes, which is why I get up every day at 3 o'clock in the morning. But that's not what the video is about. The video is about quitters and negativity. So number one, I am the most disappointed in people that quit. I think it is the saddest thing, not mad, it is the saddest thing when people quit on themselves, because that's literally what you're doing. Saying it's too hard is a terrible excuse. Terrible. Too many things I have, it sounds like a lot. It's just, life is a lot. Life is always a lot. But what I talk about in my program is, and teach about in my program, is how to minimize the amount of time that you spend on stressful situations. You have more time to enjoy life because you're minimizing the amount of time that you're spending driving to restaurants, driving out to eat, driving to Subway, a million different things. Yes, it is a challenging program, but ultimately I always tell people that it's so much more than aesthetics. It's about life changes. I'm going to get back to an example that I want to get to about people in a profession that have to lead by example, but I'm going to go to negativity for a second. So this actually happened to 3 of my clients. I'm going to give 2 examples. One of my clients was having a conversation with a friend, and I put air quotes on that because I don't believe that anybody that offers their opinion when that person didn't ask for it in a negative way is really truly a friend. I posted this thing on Facebook. It was a repost from Wendy Fortino about her husband posted it about fit shaming and how people fit shame Wendy. People fit shame me a lot. But one of the things that he talks about in there is where he says that realistically, it is so sad that this number is so high, but there are so many more people that have this relationship, these friends, that claim to be supportive of somebody's new fitness journey when they're not on it. And really, it's just that they're only supportive because they're looking forward to them failing. And that's a fact. And then when they actually start seeing results, they start throwing out negative comments to them like, oh my God, you're getting too skinny. Oh my God, are you sick? Are you even eating? Is this healthy for you? And then making body part comments and I'm not going to specifically say it because if this client sees it, I don't care if she sees it because I'm doing this for her. But if this client's family member, you know what? F it. So this client's family member made a comment and said, oh, you're losing weight and you're losing your butt. And, women nowadays, it wasn't always the thing, but nowadays everybody wants to have a nice big butt. But then they want to have a small waist. I'm the same way. I want to have bigger legs, a bigger butt, and still a small waist. And it's possible. But, she's losing weight. She has a weight loss goal of, a number, bigger than, 20 pounds or 15 pounds or 5 pounds. So for her friend to throw out a comment like, oh my God, you're losing weight and you're losing your butt, like it makes that person, my client, all self-conscious and feeling negative and, oh, I thought you wanted to keep your butt and whatever. That's not what she said, but like, why throw that out? Like, my client didn't say, hey, what do you think of my results? What do you think of my body? Critique me. So for that friend to throw that comment out, it was literally her trying to bring her down a notch. It was her trying to, misery loves company. Maybe she's unhappy with the fact that she doesn't have the strength that my client has to move forward into this weight loss journey, that she finds something, anything negative or a negative spin on something positive to, body parts are fat. And when you lose weight, you lose those body parts, like even boobs. Boobs are fat. I used to be way bigger. And so, it's like, to make comments like that is just so terrible when you're supposed to be a friend. And then this is not a friend, but one of my clients, and I don't know why she heard this, because she should have headphones on when you work out. I got my Beats on me at all times. If I don't have my headphones, I would lose my mind. But basically what I gotta move out of the way because there's clearly an accident. Okay. Woo! Okay. To get out of the way and pause my video. So my client was actually in the gym, and this was a really crappy thing for the boyfriend to do, but it was also a really crappy thing for the girl to do, which she might have just been lashing out at her boyfriend. But my client overheard a guy say, why can't you look like her, or why can't you work out like her? Because my client was whooping a dollar sign and in her workout, and then she turned around and said, because I don't want to look like a man. And my client does not look like a man, okay? She looks beautiful. She has muscles. She is toned. And that was that girl making a comment back to her crappy boyfriend, who should not have said that. Don't ever compare your girlfriend to somebody else. How crappy can you be? This goes out to the boyfriend or any husband that might do that. And then to the girl, like, don't take it out on the other girl because you're mad at your boyfriend. And don't judge anybody just because you don't like that body type doesn't mean that you're gonna make that you should make a comment about it. And if you saw that she didn't have headphones on, then you shouldn't have said that. That was really rude. And if she did, it's just so much negativity. And this affected both of my clients that this happened to. And, it messed up their day. So I usually say, you have to do your best to try to avoid the negativity. If you know that you have a friend that's supposed to be supportive of this journey and they're not supportive, you need to avoid them. And I don't care if you've been friends with them for years. I have a client just recently that's been friends with her girlfriend that she's been friends with for years. And now they're going in two different paths, and they've come to this agreement that they're not on the same path together. And it doesn't matter. Like, I'm a different person than I was 10 years ago, 20 years ago, and I wouldn't be friends with the people that I was friends with back then. And, I just think that we need to accept that. And if your friends aren't being supportive, and I did a video about family, like, the family is supposed to be the ones that are the most supportive, and they're not. And if they're not supportive of you, then you need to do your best to avoid them. And you want to know what? You are better off being alone and taking care of you and falling in love with yourself and loving yourself and being content with yourself than being around people just to not be alone. And I was alone for a really long time. All I did was work many, many jobs, and it was right after I got out of the hospital, and it was because I needed to start loving myself again. So and I promised, and I can't believe I remembered, but I promised I was going to go back to the comment about people that need to lead by example. So I actually had 2 people quit, and I think it's fairly sad. And then I did, and this is way, way in the past, we, as Aguirre Fitness, had somebody that quit the program. And it was all because it was too hard. I don't know. One of the people didn't even get a chance to finish their first week. The other person didn't even get started. And the other person actually was in the program for like 2 weeks and had lost 8 pounds in the first week and like 3 pounds in the second week. And all of these people are in professions where they have to work hard. One of them is a teacher. One of them is a leader, and I'm not going to get into what kind of leader. But I always say that for somebody that's in a profession where you have to lead by example, it is so sad. And I will specifically use teacher and parent as an example. It is so sad for a teacher to quit the program, for a person that is supposed to be a helper of other people's psyche or whatever it is, because that's one of the people. And it's sad that what if one of your patients, what if one of your students, what if one of your employees said, I can't do this job, it's too hard? I mean, number one, you're going to fire the employee. Number two, how are you going to help somebody that's not willing to help themselves? And number three, if you have a kid, are you just going to allow them to quit because it's too hard, like you did? Like, what if my son turned around to me and said to me, Mommy, school is so hard. Can I just stop and get a job? I'll, get 3 jobs and I'll make money. Babe, the rest of your life is going to be hard if you quit every single time something gets a little bit harder. You work through the hard and then it makes the future easy. And that's the same thing on this goal. One of my shorter videos, I can't believe it's about 11 minutes. I did kind of go off on a tangent, but I really hope somebody takes some kind of tip. And I really hope that if you are in a profession in any way that is a leader, a manager, a inspirer, a mentor, anything, you have to lead by example. Hashtag lead by example. So that is a video that I'm doing for that and for negativity. And I love you guys, and I am dead stop, and now I can see the accident. So say a prayer that they are okay, and you take care of you.